Man, I am near the final stages for this Octave Mandolin. I'm doing the final sanding. That's like 400 grit. And then I'm applying a super diluted stain, and that will help highlight any spots that might need a little bit more sanding. This morning figured out, used some scrap piece of Engelmann, what the overall kind of burst and color will be, darker to lighter. That's gonna be for the soundboard. So this is some Engelmann that actually came from the exact soundboard. Kind of see how it cut off there. I always think it's a good idea to save the scrap pieces until you're totally done with the build, because then you can practice different staining colors, see how it's actually going to be on the wood. So that's what we're going for, that type of burst from super light to dark. The dark is going to be along the edges. But like I said, before I'm doing that, I'm kind of just with super light dilution, and then that'll show me any spots that need a little bit more sanding, a little bit more work. I'm also raising the grain, and so I just use a squirt bottle, just tap water, and then just some paper towels. I don't like just spraying straight onto the wood. I feel like you'll just get this hyper concentrated amount of water in one spot. And so I'll just kind of hold it away from the wood, make sure it's even, and I'll just kind of wipe with the grain. This will help raise the grain. And it'll also show any areas that need a little bit more sanding, perhaps. So I'll let that kind of dry off. You can kind of see some of the streaks. Once that's dry, if you kind of lightly rub your hand over, you'll feel like a peach fuzz. And that's kind of what you want to go over with, in this case, it would be 400 grit sandpaper, or maybe even a little bit lighter, and just slightly kind of knock that peach fuzz down. It doesn't work with denatured alcohol. That's one reason I like mixing the stains in denatured alcohol, because if I'm staining the instrument, and I always do a hand rubbed type of stain, I don't have a spray booth or spray. So I think the denatured alcohol just helps prevent the wood from, or the wood is not going to soak up as much of the stain. So if you make a mistake, it's easier to sand out. If you use water with the stain, sometimes the wood will just it'll absorb very deep into the wood. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm gonna go over it with 400 grit again, kind of check for anything that needs to be fixed, and it's getting close,